Hello friends, welcome to a new topic today. This is the continuation of general pharmacology. In this, let us learn about some important points about receptors. Okay, so in the receptors, first group of receptors are ligand gated ion channels. So these ligand gated ion channels are fastest acting receptors. Ligand gated ion channels are fastest acting receptors. They include GABA A, glutamate, which is NMDA receptors, AMPA receptors and kainate receptors. We have 5-HT3 receptors and nicotinic receptors. Okay, so GABA A is an ligand gated ion channel receptor, whereas GABA B is G protein coupled receptor. 5-HT3 is a is an ion gated channel, whereas 5-HT1 to 7 are G protein coupled receptors. So first we will see nicotinic receptors, right? So in the nicotinic receptors we have something called as pentameric structure. So because it has pentameric structure, that means it has 5 subunits. They are 2 constant subunits which are alpha subunit, and it contains remaining normal subunits which are beta, gamma, delta and epsilon. So we have 2 alpha subunits which are constant, beta, gamma, delta or epsilon subunits are also present. So it is a pentameric structure, right? That is ion gated channel. Next we have, next group is enzyme linked receptors. So in enzyme linked receptor, so this is the cell and this is the nucleus. So this is the the ligand. Okay, the enzyme, this is the enzyme which is inside the cell, and this is the receptor which is outside. Okay, now the ligand will come and bind to this receptor. Now this receptor will activate the enzyme which is present inside the cell. So this is the enzyme linked receptor. Okay, so the enzyme is inside the cell in this process. The enzyme, so here if you see, the enzyme is inside the cell and the receptor is outside the cell, right? So what are the examples of these enzyme linked receptors? So these include, first we have tyrosine kinase receptors. The tyrosine kinase receptors are epithelial growth factor receptor, that is HER1 and HER2 receptor, vascular endothelial growth factor receptor, insulin receptor, insulin like growth factor receptor. Then we have Janus kinase receptors. These Janus kinase receptors are growth factor receptors, prolactin receptor and cytokine receptors. Then we have serine tyrosine kinase receptors, which include transforming growth factor receptor. Then we have guanyl cyclase receptor. Guanyl cyclase receptors like ANP, that is atrial natriuretic peptide, and brain natriuretic peptide. So these are the different types of receptors which include enzyme linked receptor. Tyrosine kinase, Janus kinase or serine threonine kinase. See, these are kinases, that is, these are enzymes. Okay, then guanyl cyclase receptor is also an enzyme linked receptors. Then we have one more type of receptors which are called as nuclear receptors. These nuclear receptors are actually slowest acting receptors. These are 2 types based on their location. They can be nuclear receptors or they can be cytoplasmic receptors. Nuclear receptors are located in the nucleus. They are T3 and T4 receptor, vitamin A, that is retinoid receptor or retinoid X receptor, paroxysmal proliferated activator receptor, estrogen receptor and progesterone receptor. So all these are nuclear receptors. Then we have cytoplasmic receptors also. Cytoplasmic receptors include androgen receptors, mineralocorticoid receptors, glucocorticoid receptors and vitamin D receptors are the cytoplasmic receptors. So nuclear receptors mainly include nucleus, they are in the nucleus and they are in the cytoplasm also. Remember, cytoplasm, the receptors which are present in the cytoplasm are also called as nuclear receptors. All the nuclear receptors present in the nucleus is not a true statement, because there are some cytoplasmic receptors which are called as nuclear receptors or classified as nuclear receptors. Then Then we have next group of receptors which are called as G protein coupled receptors. So in this G protein coupled receptors, this is actually the most common target of the drug. So this G protein coupled receptor is a 7 subgroup receptors. Okay, so it has, so this receptor will pass the plasma membrane, pass through the plasma membrane almost 7 times. Okay, in this, if you see, this receptor will bind to 3 protein subunits which include alpha, beta and gamma subunit. First it will bind only to alpha subunit. Now this alpha subunit has GTP. So alpha subunit binded to GTP. Once alpha subunit bounds to the GTP, so now this GDP gets converted to GTP. GDP gets converted to GTP. Once GTP is formed, this beta and gamma subunits separate from the alpha subunit. Okay, so this conversion of GDP to GTP occurs in the presence of phosphate, and during this process this alpha subunit gets separated from beta and gamma subunit. Okay, and now this will move with the GTP. This alpha subunit will move to the GTP. Then now the alpha subunit has GTPase activity. With the help of this GTPase activity, this GTP gets converted to GDP. Okay, now alpha subunit, once the alpha GTP gets converted to GDP, now alpha subunit will come back to the goes back to beta and gamma subunit. So if you see, alpha subunit is the most important substituent. Okay, so this is important. This is G protein coupled receptors. If you see, most of the receptors are G protein coupled receptors. So this G protein coupled receptors are again of 2 types. One we have GS type and second we have GQ type. We have other types also like GI, G0, G12 or 13 type. So these are the 5 different types of G protein coupled receptors. So first, if you see GS type will activate adenyl cyclase. So once it activates adenyl cyclase, it will convert ADP to AMP and cyclic AMP is increased. So this cyclic AMP will activate the protein kinase. Okay, this protein kinase is present both in the smooth muscles and in the cardiac muscles. In the smooth muscles, it will activate myosin light chain kinase, activate myosin light chain phosphorylase and inhibit myosin light chain kinase. What is important is this G protein will activate myosin light chain phosphorylase and it will inhibit myosin light chain kinase. Whereas this protein kinase in the cardiac muscles, it will always activate calcium channels, thus leading to the contraction of the muscle. Okay, in the cardiac and skeletal muscles it causes contraction, whereas in the smooth muscles this GS type of receptors causes relaxation of the muscle. Okay, this is important. So what are the G protein coupled receptor? Example is B2 receptor is a GS coupled receptor. So B2 receptor causes bronchodilation, that is smooth muscle relaxation occurs. It causes bronchodilation, evacuation of bladder, evacuation of bowel. So all those are due to relaxation. Whereas it contracts the cardiac muscles leading to palpitation. It also contracts the skeletal muscles leading to tremors. Okay, next we have GQ type of GQ type of receptor. In GQ receptor, this will activate phospholipase C. Once phospholipase C is activated, this will increase inositol, phosphoinositol biphosphate. Okay, this will increase phosphoinositol bisphosphate. This phosphoinositol bisphosphate increases 2 things. One, it will increase the inositol triphosphate and it will also increase diacyl glycerol. Okay, this inositol triphosphate increases calcium and thus causes contraction, whereas this diacyl glycerol will activate membrane protein kinase. It will activate membrane protein kinase. So this is about GQ receptor. Then we have other types of receptor. We have something called as GI receptors. In GI receptors, it is increases G1 and thus this GI is nothing but inhibitory. Okay, because of inhibitory effect, it will decrease the cyclic AMP. Okay, this cyclic AMP, whenever it decreases, it causes or opens the potassium channel. So because of opening of potassium channel, it causes relaxation. So M2 receptors will have relaxation effect on heart, and it causes bradycardia in heart due to relaxation, right? Then G0 will increase the beta and gamma subunits. Now because of increased beta and gamma subunit, these will decrease the calcium ions, and thus these will also open the potassium channel, leading to relaxation. Okay, both of them have the similar action. Then we have G12 or G13 receptors. G12 or G13 receptors increases Rho GTP bonding. So these will increase the Rho kinase. This Rho kinase will cause vasoconstriction. There are two types of Rho kinase inhibitors, which are fasudil and netarsudil, which act on G12 and G13 type of receptor. Okay, so this is about the G protein coupled receptors. Now, so thank you guys for watching my lecture. In the next class, we will learn about drug development. Thank you.